Thank you, Mr Vickers. It's a pleasure to serve under your chairmanship, and I'm exceptionally grateful to my honourable friend, the member for Surrey Heath, for securing the debate today and outlining so very eloquently his concerns and the concerns of his residents, but also to all colleagues in this chamber who have spoken today. It has been really helpful to kind of weave together the different perspectives of those of us who are going through reorganisation, those of us who are experts in this field, and I really do hope that the Minister will take on board everything that is said in this debate. Like my honourable friend, I support the principle of local government reorganisation. I'm sure all of us have spoken to those residents who are surprised and are frustrated to learn that they have to deal with a different council to fix the potholes as they do to get their bins collected. So simplification for that purpose is actually a good thing. But we've heard here, particularly from colleagues in West Surrey, the Honourable Member for Woking, obviously the Honourable Member for Surrey Heath, but also it's a recurring theme in Surrey and for all councils pretty much in the South East, that reorganisation is frankly about finance. And we very clearly and very starkly illustrated that in Surrey, the county, there is billions of pounds of debt racked up by the Conservative-led councils, and it has been Liberal Democrat colleagues in local government who have led the way in turning councils' finances around. But that said, and I'm grateful to the member for Crawley and to Strangford, who have both quite rightly noted that savings are not always guaranteed. And I think what is going to be very interesting, and I use it in the inverted commas way, interesting, it's going to be interesting to see how this evolves and whether the savings that have been presented to us will actually come to fruition. So yes, reshaping local government can make sense, but reorganisation only succeeds when it is done with communities and not to them. And across Surrey, residents, councillors and officers feel the pace of this reorganisation process has left them struggling to keep up with decisions that will help reshape local services. And when Surrey's structural change order was debated 2 weeks ago, I raised concerns about this, about the speed of the process, the lack of meaningful consultation. I highlighted the fact that actually when residents were asked what they wanted 3 authorities. And actually the financial figures show that the difference between the cost savings for 2 authorities across Surrey versus 3 authorities across Surrey are relatively minimal. And actually, when it comes to ensuring that a local authority reflects its residents and gives residents that sense of place that my honourable friend and colleague across the chamber from East Hampshire referred to, that sense of place is really important to residents. Now, that structural change order came into force today, and unfortunately I've not yet had answers to my questions that I raised at that session, but I'm grateful to the Minister for confirming that I will have them shortly. My honourable friends who have spoken this afternoon have also articulated the serious financial pressures facing Surrey, and residents are very understandably worried about historic debt and how the cost of living crisis alongside that will impact them, whether that's through council tax harmonisation, the loss of valued community assets, or pressures on frontline services. These residents did not make the decisions that created these problems, and yet they will be asked to shoulder the financial consequences. So I would welcome clarity from the Minister on transitional funding and support the Government is going to provide to ensure particularly West Surrey, but also other authorities going through organisation, who are going to start off their lives as new authorities, potentially on an unstable financial footing. And as colleagues have already highlighted, West Surrey is looking at an unstable footing of probably around £4 billion. There is also a wider question about the economic framework shaping the future of these authorities. Current proposals will give West Surrey strategic responsibilities very similar to a mayoral authority, but without access to the equivalent long-term investment that a mayoral authority would get. Mayoral authorities benefit from 30-year investment funds because the government recognises that long-term certainty unlocks growth. If West Surrey and any other new combined authority area is expected to deliver the same strategic ambitions as a mayoral authority without tools, then the government needs to explain how it expects these authorities to unlock growth, the growth needed for them to economically succeed and serve their residents. So I'd be grateful if the Minister could provide clarification on 2 points regarding foundation strategic authority status. So firstly, very specifically for Surrey, can the Minister give clarity on the pathway to a mayoral authority and on the timing of any future mayoral election? And secondly, can the Minister outline how the government is going to ensure that areas undergoing reorganisation via the foundation authority route don't miss out on growth funding available to mayoral combined authorities elsewhere? So turning to the issue of communication and governance, large-scale structural change depends on strong collaboration between county councils, district councils, officers, community organisations and members of parliament. Yet many colleagues across Surrey, including my team and I, have struggled to obtain clear and timely engagement with Surrey County Council. And a particular example that I highlight today, but I could give you a litany of examples, is what the work I'm doing alongside Guildford Borough Council, South West Rail and Network Rail on progressing discussions for a potential new railway station in Guildford. We are struggling to get engagement from the County Council, who are also the Transport Authority, and this does not bode well for the wider essential communication needed to make the transition to new council's work. I would welcome any thoughts the Minister might have on this. My final Surrey-specific point relates to the parish councils and voluntary sector organisations across the county who are also significantly impacted by local government reorganisation and deserve urgent clarity. These bodies provide vital hyperlocal leadership. They support vulnerable residents, deliver local services and act as a crucial bridge between communities and higher tiers of government. Many of them are frankly unsure what the new governance structures mean for their funding, their commissioning arrangements and the day-to-day interactions with the new authorities. Surely these crucial partners need clarity. And just to illustrate this, a very specific concern was raised with me this week on behalf of parish councils, and it really highlights the problem. So the parish council elections are due in 2027. These will no longer align with the main tier elections. Therefore, there are going to be additional costs that parishes are going to have to incur, and currently this is going to be footed by them. It is an unexpected cost. So I wonder if the Minister could outline what support parishes will be given to support them with this unexpected electoral cost where the elections don't align. So moving beyond Surrey, local government across England is under immense pressure after years of financial strain, rising demand in social care and SEND and inadequate long-term funding. Reorganisation alone cannot resolve these structural challenges. It is part of the solution and we desperately need it to work, but it is only part of the solution. We as Liberal Democrats continue to argue that alongside reorganisation we need fair funding, proper recognition of the costs faced by rural and semi-rural areas and sustainable multi-year settlements that allow councils to plan ahead. It is also why we focus so much on needing a cross-party solution to the social care crisis. Many county councils face enormous percentages of their budgets being spent on social care, leaving their wider budgets stretched to the breaking point despite their Herculean efforts. So, in conclusion, communities across Surrey, the wider South East and England deserve local government reorganisation that strengthens them, not uncertainty that undermines them. We have heard from colleagues across this House of the grave concerns that they have as experienced members of Parliament, experienced individuals with backstories in local government, and of the concerns their residents have raised with them. I really hope that the Minister will reflect on the issues that have been raised in this debate today, will take the steps needed to deliver that, and work with colleagues across the House to deliver local government reorganisation that works for local people. Thank you, Mr Vickers.